Oh, we have physics now? What even is this class?
I waited for this class all day, man. My entire day's been so boring. I just want something fun, like.
What do we do? What even is this? What does this do?
They gave me this fat textbook. Open up and read it, maybe.
Jeez.
Learn something. I hope you have a good teacher.
Hope you have a good teacher. Well, today is your lucky day. Hi guys, my name is Miss Thompson, and I'm going to be your AP Physics teacher for today. I was thinking that for our first class period, you can go and ask me questions about the course and how I decided to become a teacher and stuff like that.
Well, wait. Are you sure that you're a miss?
Yes, I'm sure. Clearly, I am Mrs. Thompson. How about we start with you?
Hey, I'm Fazil.
I'm Harris.
And I'm Dylan.
To start off, I was just wondering what topics will we cover throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. So the AP Physics curriculum has 10 units. We start off relatively simple with kinematics, which is the study of how things move without outside forces.
What? Wait. 10 units?
Yeah.
Bro, you guys hearing this? Like, I don't have time for 10 units. It's so much work.
Calm down there. It's not that bad. Then in Unit 2, we move into dynamics, which is the study of how objects move with outside forces. Then we'll move into some really cool stuff like work, power, energy, rotation, electricity, and then in Unit 10, we finish off with circuits.
Wow, that's a crazy long curriculum. I can't wait to learn it all and ace the exam.
What is physics exactly?
So physics is the branch of science that explains the properties of matter and energy. I know that's kind of an obscure definition, but as we move through the year and study topics more in depth, you'll definitely understand what I mean more clearly. But basically, all things regarding motion that you see every day, that's physics. That's actually what I love about physics. I feel that it's very applicable to everyday life and allows students to look at everyday things with a different perspective.
So you're saying that physics will actually help us in the real world?
Dude, Harris, this is such a dumb question. Like, obviously physics is a main component in so many careers like medicine and, I don't know, engineering, like aeronautical space. Like, how do you think we got to the moon, dude? The AP Physics curriculum is great because it just puts emphasis on thinking. We need to use our brains, obviously.
Alright.
Yeah, analyzing, problem solving, it's tough stuff. Critical reading, gotta know how to do all that. I'm sure these skills can help us anywhere, like even business school.
Fazil, stop being mean. But you are absolutely correct. My students right now are actually doing a project on real-world physics. Speaking of physics in the real world, let me tell you a little bit about my job and how I got into teaching. So when I was going to TCNJ for my undergraduate degree, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. After thinking back on what I really enjoyed in high school, I realized that I really enjoyed physics for a number of reasons. For one thing, I had a great physics teacher, kind of like you guys have right now. I also thought that physics was really fascinating because we experienced so much of it in our everyday lives. The next step was for me to find out what I needed to do to become a physics teacher. The teaching requirements differ slightly from state to state, but in order for me to become a physics teacher in New Jersey, I needed a few things. First, I needed an undergraduate degree in secondary education, specifically in physics. Then, I needed to pass the practice exam in general science, chemistry, and physics. And then, I needed to do my teaching experience, being an assistant and shadowing a teacher for some time. After that, I got my certification to teach, but getting a master's degree is highly encouraged. A lot of teachers get their master's degree in education or within their field of study. I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to expand on my physics knowledge already, so I got my master's degree in education. I've been teaching for 12 years so far, and over time my job has changed some but not a lot. I started teaching regular CP and CPE physics, but after the previous teacher left, I started teaching honors physics, which eventually became AP Physics. This was a good change in pace for me because I went from teaching the honors, more linear math, memorization, and formulas class to the AP class, which really emphasizes critical thinking and reasoning, just as Fazil said. Similar to my shift to AP Physics, another way my job has evolved over time is just the shift in general trends of education. Instead of the typical heavy memorization and lectures like the honors curriculum, educators today are focused more on student-based learning, which is more about students learning through failure and experience the way we'll do this year, rather than just memorizing things and having you just buckle down and do the boring stuff.
So basically what you're telling me is this class is just the same as Chem and Bio.
Definitely not. I hated Chem and Bio for the same reasons as you guys. Bio was just all memorization, which is super boring, and chem is too hard to visualize. We still don't have the technology to, see electrons under a microscope, and somehow we expect students to comprehend that? No, definitely not. Unlike the other two, students experience and see physics every day. I also feel like even beyond the actual material, physics preps students for the real world because, like I mentioned before, it teaches critical thinking and problem solving, but also collaboration in group projects and labs. But going back to my job, the evolution of not only physics education, but teaching in general is something US students are experiencing every day. With regards to technology, as you guys know, many schools are utilizing laptops in different ways, such as the learning platforms like we use Haiku. We also use a bunch of cool lab equipment like the carts and the pendulums throughout the year, and as technology continues to improve, so does our lab equipment. Another way my job has evolved over the years is with the actual students. As great as the laptops are, students nowadays are more stressed, more distracted, and finding ways to deal with the changing students, most notably their cheating ways, is something that I have to adapt to as a teacher. This leads me to my next point about the important qualities of a physics teacher. Obviously, one would need to know the material well, but also needs to have good confidence and presence in front of the classroom. Other than confidence, I think it's important to be organized so that the curriculum can be taught in a timely manner, but also flexible, because you never know how students will understand the material. It's also important to like kids. High schoolers can be a huge pain in the butt, so having the patience and skills necessary to work with them is important. For instance, I have this kid, and I won't name names, but he is just the worst student in the world. He comes in late, he talks about Fortnite all the time, he never pays attention, he's always on his laptop, and it's just like, it's the worst.
That's like Harris over here.
And after the AP exam, we can just chill and watch Fortnite, right?
No, silly. You'll learn that we never do nothing in AP Physics. After the AP test, we'll finish up the year looking at light, which is in Unit 11, and then we'll do a bunch of cool labs and competitions. The last thing I want to talk about is why someone would want to become an AP Physics teacher. Finding a teaching job in physics or chemistry in particular is actually really easy because the subjects are not as popular compared to, let's say, phys ed, writing or language arts, or elementary school teaching, which a lot of people think are easier to get a degree in. Also, there will always be a need for physics teachers, so unlike manufacturing jobs, it's not very likely that you'll be completely replaced by machines, at least in the near future. There's also great job security as a teacher, and especially in this area, the pay is also really good. I also think that being an educator in general has an immense impact on society because it's the things that students learn in the classroom that will ultimately mold them to be able to fix the problems of our world. I think working with students and teaching them not only about physics, the life skills we mentioned before is a great way to make a positive impact on the world. A person who loves to mentor students to become better people would make a great physics teacher.
Psych, this ain't no physics. Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Thompson. I learned so much.
Bye, Miss T. It was a great year in AP Physics. Loved your teaching. It was great. Learned so much.
Have a good summer.
Yo, we're done.
Dude,
School
that was
is
dope.
over.
Dude, that class
Oh
was
my god. I'm
amazing.
so
Oh my
happy,
God.
bro. Yo, you gotta get shoes with a higher mu, bro. You won't slip as much.